morning, everyone. Did you know that nearly 25% of Americans skip breakfast on a daily basis? This number is not shocking to me because I understand how busy our daily lives can be, juggling school, work, kids, businesses, among other things. It can be pretty easy to go about your day and not eat breakfast or even lunch. However, as I've gotten older, I've realized that when I don't eat breakfast in the mornings and I go about my busy day, I tend to be more lethargic. My mood probably isn't the best that it could be, and my energy levels are pretty low. This all resorts back to not having that substantial breakfast in the mornings. While it can seem like it's not a big deal to skip out on breakfast, I'm telling you, it will make a huge difference. So to make it easier on you all, I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite quick and easy recipes for a simple morning breakfast. That would be breakfast potatoes. The first thing that you're going to do is get about 4 russet potatoes. That should suffice. You want to make sure that you wash them. You want to peel off the skin, and then you want to dice them up into cubes. I personally like to boil my potatoes first for just a few minutes, just so they're not super hard when you go to cook them. So that's what I like to do. You want to boil them for a few minutes. You can add a pinch of salt to the water for taste. After the potatoes are done boiling, you would like to pat them dry. Then you will obtain you a skillet. I would prefer to use a non-stick skillet because, especially for potatoes, for some reason, they tend to really damage your pot. So if you use a non-stick, then you won't even have to have a super hard cleanup when you're all done. So once you obtain your pot, you want to put it on medium heat. You want to add in some extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, you could always use vegetable oil. As that's heating for a couple of seconds and begins to bubble a bit, you want to go ahead and add in your russet potatoes that you diced up. Now, I am a seasoned girl. I love to season my potatoes. I don't like to use a lot of salt, but I do use garlic powder, Cajun seasoning, and then the no salt seasoning by Tony's Creole Seasonings. Super good. I pretty much use it on everything, but it'll taste really good in your breakfast potatoes. Another thing that I like to add is garlic paste, just maybe about a teaspoon of garlic paste, and stir that in there. And then you want to get a cover and cover your potatoes. Do not leave them, do not just, walk off and forget about them and start doing something else. You want to make sure that you keep a close eye on your potatoes so that they don't get burnt and start sticking to your pan. You want to make sure that you have a spatula or some sort of utensil that you can make sure that you're stirring them quite frequently. Again, this is going to prevent any burntness, stickiness from your potatoes, and just avoid them from getting messed up. Once the potatoes have been cooking for probably approximately about 10 minutes, usually 10 to 15 minutes is good for these kind of potatoes, depending on how much you make. If you're just cooking for yourself, you're probably going to be leaning more on the 10-minute side. Me personally, I have a family, so I usually cook for the 3 of us. It will take me approximately more on the 15-minute side. Once you're done cooking your potatoes, once they start getting brownish a bit, I personally like to have mine a little bit of crispiness on them. This is what you should end up with for your final product. Very, very yummy. Now, another thing that I would like to add is if you want to spice up your potatoes, as you can see, I have color in here. I have a bunch of colored peppers, and I also have some red onions. So if you like to spice up your dish, you can add in peppers, red onions, eggs, and make like a hash. You can add bacon, cheese, whatever it is that you prefer to spice up your potatoes. This is why I really enjoy this recipe, because while it's quick, simple, and easy, you can also dress it up any way you like to make it, preferential based for how you prefer to eat them. So I decided to just do peppers and onions in this case. When I added the peppers and onions, my potatoes were probably about 5 minutes away from being done. So they just started getting a little bit of browning to them. That's when I went ahead and added my peppers and onions. You don't want to add them right away because then you can risk losing them, getting the burnt. Your onions and peppers will shrink to probably nothing. So you want to wait until the peppers are maybe about halfway done before adding them. And then this is what you will end up with for your final product. I thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you start to eat breakfast and get the proper nutrients that you need to carry on about your day. Take care.